Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world. I'm Dan Marati along with
MJ in the house, otherwise known as that rocker Marty Jannetty.
wrestling fans, wrestling insiders. Party with Marty is next.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the WWF.
Be there live.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders, the Party with Marty.
Yay.
Marty Jannetty is going to be joining us on some Thursday nights. We have some great episodes we're taping now. Hopefully he's going to be back live in studio in September if everything works out, because we know you're going to be back in the Northeast. But back to the big question. What happened in the spring of 1987? You called Terry Garvin.
Yeah.
You made some kind of an agreement to come in.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, so what had happened was, you know, I've always tell people, prepping, when you hear this, what had happened was, usually that means, that's what everybody says in court, because you're about to tell a damn lie. What had happened was, but this is the truth, what had happened was, I can't even say it without laughing, because it sounds like I'm gonna lie, but AWA was just not doing us right, and we had enough of it. I did, and that time, you know, Shawn, he'd had enough of it from the beginning. But anyway, I called Terry Garvin and said, hey man, we're not happy here. And I'm not sure about this, but I think he was like, well, don't tell nobody you talk to me. I'm not supposed to be talking to you. You know, because he was,
Sure, yeah.
And our contract, you know, it was funny about the contracts. We were young and didn't care, man.
What kind of money was there in the AWA at that point for guys, the tag champs?
It didn't really, that was the thing, man. The only thing it does is put you a little higher up on the card as a champ. The money didn't really change.
Yeah, you just had a little extra luggage.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on that point, where you were on the card at that point, what kind of money would there be in the AWA?
Yeah, you know, if we did 15 days for the month, I would say, what's 15 times, say, 300? On average of 3, because there were some low ones. 4,500 a month. You know?
Really, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. Now, remember, when we got there, everything was crashing.
It was starting to decline, but I would have thought it was more than that.
It might have been $5,000 a month.
Wow, really? 60 grand a year?
But yeah, right about that.
Really? Wow.
But, you know, you're only working half the time. And
True, but yeah.
And you're 20 years old. You know?
They had that ESPN, well, I don't know the particulars of their ESPN contract, but I'm kind of
Oh,
surprised
they were
by that.
one-sided as hell. They were not even legal
really?
after a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't care. We're just like, yeah, here.
Yeah, you got it.
And it's all wrestler must this, wrestler must that, wrestler. There's nothing promoter does. It was all one-sided. You were giving your life away.
So at what point did you agree to leave AWA as the tag champs?
So they had us wrestle Bad Company. Pat Tanaka.
Okay.
And oh my God, what a great team.
Great
they
team.
ended up being Orient
WWF,
Express.
yeah.
It was funny because it was Sato, you know, the Japanese guy. But he went back to Japan, so they put a mask on a white boy. Called him Kato. It was Paul Diamond. But it was Bad Company again. And we'd had great matches with them in AWA. Pat Tanaka and I are like best friends, even to this day, even though, damn, some of the crap we've gotten into. But anyway, and they were so good as Bad Company. They come out to that music. You remember that song, Bad Company?
Yeah.
And it was so cool, man, because they come out, Pat looks like a little badass, and, you know, Paul looks athletic. But they wanted us to drop the belts. And we had been talking about a guarantee, because our money kept going,
Yeah.
and we're the champs. We ain't supposed to go this way. But
Or at least stay steady.
yeah. And so, and you know what's funny is every time, once you're the champions, you never win. You know, just you get disqualified, or you know, it wasn't a title match, and it's like, well, gosh damn, look here, take the belts back. We're gonna be losing every day. But anyway, they just, you know, we asked about a guarantee and gave them an amount we thought was reasonable. I don't remember what it was. But it wasn't, it was just so the shit would stop dropping.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we just
And I
wanted
think that's reasonable considering where you were on the card.
Yeah. And there was, I hate to say it, but when Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall were tagging, that was good. They were good. But we'd lost everybody. Snuka came in. That was good to have him, you know.
As far as a draw, yeah.
And Colonel De Beers was great. But, you know, everybody had left and gone to WWF.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, Hulk, Mean Gene, I mean, everybody at that one point was AWA. So that's telling you something's wrong with AWA.
Right.
And you know, it is already told Shawn, we're on a sinking ship. That was taken off. And
they're coming off 93,000 at the Silverdome for WrestleMania 3 a couple months back.
And after they did that, they did a thing, AWA, it was like, yeah, let's try something like that. And it was called the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
I remember the music video. Yeah.
We had to sit there and rap a song because Chicago Bears, remember they did that there?
Yeah, when the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's Super Bowl Shuffle. So now we were like, well, Shawn and Marty, we love to
party,
wrestle and we love to party.
I remember that.
You ain't got to worry. We ain't going to fumble because we'll be doing the Wrestle Rock Rumble. It was like, God, I was like, let me rewrite the words, please. But Burn Gagne thought it was good. Anyway, that was our biggest show. They did it at the Metrodome, which is down now. Where the Twins play. I think the Vikings, you know, they're old.
Yeah.
And we were used to wrestling, you know, at that point we were used to wrestling in front of, if we had a good house, 5,000 people. Wrestled in the Metrodome from first base side to the third base side was pretty full. There was empty seats here and there. It was estimated maybe 30,000 people. And our paycheck went up by a couple $100. Like,
wow.
And everybody was like, wait a minute, what the hell's... Greg Gagne was, you know, he was always in control. Byrne owned it and ran it and got the ultimate say, but Greg was, you know, taking care of everything. But Greg said, guys, there was some fake tickets sold. So all those people who bought fake tickets was their explanation that our money...
They were cons, you mean?
30,000 people, and our paycheck is like when we wrestled at the Salt Palace. What the hell? But somebody was out in the parking lot selling fake tickets. Come on, man, that's a lot of damn fake tickets. That's because y'all didn't sell any real ones.
So you didn't feel uncomfortable then making the jump to go to WWF?
No, so I called Terry and told him. Because what they did, Greg took us in a room tonight. When I say room, the hotel room at the. It was called the Showboat. We did our TV taping downstairs. You know, everybody stayed there. They put us up there. And we're in the room going over what we're going to do that night. And Greg is like, and you know, you got your champions. You got the belts, right? And Greg is like, well, we're going to drop the belts to them tonight. And now we're negotiating that guarantee, right? He's just like, let me and Dad kick it around. So I'm thinking, now they want us to drop the belt. I said, Greg, maybe we should talk alone about something real quick. He knew what I was talking about. And he goes, you can say anything here. I said, well, we need to talk about that guarantee. Well, see, now the other boys, nobody was on guarantee. And when they heard that, their ears perked up like, what guarantee? And so Greg looks at me and goes, what guarantee? Like I was making some shit up.
Like you were bullshitting them.
Yeah, so I'm like, you don't want to talk about what we talked about? And he goes, really, there's nothing to talk about. So that's pretty much saying you ain't getting the guarantee.
You to go fuck yourself,
so then,
basically. Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, let's watch us drop the belts tonight. And we left, and Shawn was like, he wanted to take the belts and go. I was like, no, leave them the belts. He can do what they want with them. But that's when I called Terry.
So you wound up upstate New York early June 1987. You had the conversation with Holly at catering. You had a match, I think it was over Jose Estrada and Jimmy Jack Funk that never aired. What was your impression of that first night in WWF?
Now remember, we're leaving a year and a half in the business, I think, right? So we've seen a few things. You get Bruiser Brody, rest in peace, come through, and you're like the big burly badass, you know. Who else did we see? We got to see our big guys come through, but once, you know, not every damn body. We walked the first night. We walked in for TV taping. We walk into the park. You go in the back door. First person walking by, and this could be out of order, but it's the same thing. remember One Man Gang?
Yep, Moon.
And he became Akeem. 6'6", 6'7", about 300 and something pounds. He walks by, he goes, "Hey guys." And we'd seen him, so that's a big. Hogan was like the second one. He's 6'5", 6'6", huge. Now keep in mind, me and Shawn are 5'11", he's about 6 foot, and we're 225 pounds. Right? And here goes 6'7". Then Big John Studd walked by. So, rest in peace. 6'10", just big as hell. He walks by. Bundy, rest in peace, Bundy. He walked by, and he's not as tall. He's only like, what, 6'4"?
He's probably about 6'4", but a behemoth. Yeah.
Goes by. And I'm like, I look at Shawn, I said, I grab him, I said, "We don't belong here, bro." I started to go the other way, because no, just give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. So, and we go and say hi and all that shit, and the dressing rooms were full. It was our first day. We didn't know you better get there early if you want in, because the rest of the guys, they don't get in the room. You're out in the hallway.
Yeah, right.
And you find a little spot.
At those big TV shoots, yeah.
All right, I'm already nervous as hell because all these big ass guys and our little ass. I'm like, man. Then Randy Savage, we're getting dressed. It was like a little half partition thing, but that's where we're getting dressed. Everybody, but I just happened to get ready to pull my pants, regular pants down so I can put my stuff on. Around the corner comes Randy and Elizabeth.
Oh, boy.
And I hear, "Brother, do you mind?" And I'm like, God. What a start, man. But so what happened, though? What had happened, the bad part, as if that was just scary. And it was that pow, 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 all these lights. When you see all the flashing lights, camera lights, some of them are cameras.
Yeah.
The rest of them are these little bulbs they hang all around, so it looks like
it looks like there's a lot more. Yeah.
And the pyros.
What a great gimmick.
And there was a dude. Yeah, this was production. We had nothing like that. All we did is before that was threw a ring in the building and got a microphone. That was it. So we're going into guys rappelling down from the ceiling. Like, what the fuck? But that night, this is where things went wrong. First night in, right? We didn't have a TV match the first night. So we sat around and introduced.
So you were there, but you just didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work.
That was the night Honky beat Steamboat. Okay.
I think so, yes.
Yep. So the next night you worked, Estrada and Jimmy Jack.
Well, that very night, and it was.
Oh, the night. Okay.
I can't forget it. It was Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
And it was a club, a hotel club that all the boys went to. That was always good because they take care of you well. Plus, it's cool to mingle. You got your fans there. You know. Yeah. Whereas if you go to a regular club, they're going to recognize you when you're on TV a lot. But it's regular people, and they kind of get a little attitudinal. Whereas if it's fans, they're happy to see you. You always, especially in a new city, somebody's going to want to fight you because you're getting too much of their attention, in their place. So this was a cool setting, and we were new and nervous. Shawn and I kind of sat back away from where all the boys were in the club. And Terry Urban comes walking up. He goes, "Guys, you need to mingle. You're going to make it look like you're better than them." And there was another thing right there. They had heard about us. See, the thing was, I was never cocky or arrogant that I know of. But Shawn, and the thing is, so these guys, the Midnight Rockers, are a couple cocky assholes. Their reputation, that's what I tell somebody. Like when you lose a match, a tag match, they don't say Marty got pinned. They say the Rockers got beat. So one is both. Yep. And so if one's arrogant, that team is arrogant. Right. And so Shawn, as I said, he even admits that back then he was. He was young. But anyway, the guys we were younger than pretty much all of them. We'd only been in the business, getting in WWF back then, in your first year. Now everybody's doing it. That's why, at one point, the product, now they got it, doing good, I think, doing pretty good again. In fact, we'll see them one day soon or later, won't we?
Oh, yeah. The day we're taping this, we're going to do the live NXT watch-along.
Yeah, that'll be fun. You gonna watch it or you just?
Oh, well, they want to hear your input, not mine. But
You gonna turn your back to it?
No, I'll be sitting here with you.
Okay.
All right.
So we wanted. You got to go mingle. The guys are gonna think you're arrogant, assholes, and you're better than them. You got to go mingle. So we did. Went down and started saying hello, and me and Jimmy Powers, remember Young Stallion?
Oh yeah,
Jimmy Powers?
yeah.
Me and him headed off buddies right off the sometimes that happens.
Sure.
And Shawn was kind of bouncing. We was bouncing around, but we got this one table that was kind of in the middle, and all the guys were there. And so Jimmy Jack Funk come up, and he comes up. Hey guys, I heard y'all were a great party. He actually admits it that he was. He says, well, they just had us on the road too long, and I was out of my mind. I didn't mean nothing. But he came up and says, I heard you guys are big time partiers. Let me see you do this. And he picks up a glass. It's a bar trick. It's easy to do. I mean, I probably had done it, but Shawn had never seen it. He picked it up. He takes the glass, breaks it off, and spits it out. Let me see you do that, punk. And he's looking at Shawn. So maybe the word already did get to him that Shawn was the one that's
the pain in the ass, the arrogant one.
Yeah, and so Shawn just like, no, man, no. He was mystified by the breaking it, And if anybody wants to do it, all you do is take the glass, put it in, you pull down. You don't bite down. You just get a good grip, and you pull the glass, and it'll break real easy. But so Jimmy Jack, he goes, come on, punk. And he kind of shoved Shawn, not hard, just a little, like you egging him on. Like, come on, punk. And he grabs the glass, and he breaks it off, throws it over, and says, come on, punk, you can't do that. And Shawn's getting nervous because he's, more, come on, you punk. I thought y'all two were partiers. And Shawn says, well, I can't do that, but I could do this. And he took them champagne glasses, a long thing, breaks it over his head. Jimmy Jack went crazy. I love you. And he started hugging. Everything was good. At the end of the night, time to go. It was closing time. This girl that I've been sitting there talking to, she was ready to go. She looked good. She was wearing, the top did like this. And she was bobbling out of the top. Which is the best way I can say that. What'd you just do?
What?
You just had a drink?
I had a little. That's John Cena Sr.'s Fab-All Pop. It's delicious.
It's very good, man. It's good to think it's here because my mouth is so dry.
Yeah.
But this girl was like, let's go. And Jimmy Jack comes walking up and he says, wait a minute, let's go get something to eat. The Denny's down the street, which the guys usually did do that, go out and eat after the clubs.
Yeah, that's standard.
And so I'm like, okay. Remember now, I just met him. I didn't know. I was like, okay, go ahead. Am I talking a lot?
Yes, which is good.
Talk show, right? So we man, I hope I ain't boring y'all out there.
They'll let us know. We get great feedback from our friends.
Or give some feedback. Tell a lie or two if you have to. Say he was great.
We have a great fan, the marvelous one out in Asia somewhere. I can't think of it because it's been a long day. He watches us in the middle of the night on our premieres because of the time difference. And we've got Slick Rick up in Maine. We've got a great regular following, at least on Tony's show. So I think they're going to come and join us too. But anyway, back to Denny's.
Well, real quick though, do you ever had to take Flomax?
No.
You know what it is?
Not 100% sure.
Well, I'm a little older than you, I think.
Yeah.
Man, when you get older, you have to go to the bathroom a lot.
Oh, all right.
I don't have to right now. I'm just saying.
You're flowing.
But somebody introduced me to the Flomax. It's like I have to get up every hour and a half. I can't get a real good long sleep anymore. And when you train hard, sleeping is the biggest part of it. When you get up every hour and a half, man, all night.
There's a lot of flowing.
Yeah, there's a lot of Flomax. But that stuff I
the Flomax is midnight rocking.
But I just took some the other day. Somebody told me and gave me some.
Niagara Falls.
I made it. I made it a good 3 hours almost.
Did you?
Yeah, without having to go. So I guess it really does work.
Oh, good.
All right. So what had happened now? Back to Jimmy Jack.
You headed to Denny's.
The girl, he went upstairs to get his wallet. He goes, let me run out there and get my wallet. I don't know what the hell he was buying drinks with, but they kind of served us. That's why they always cater to the boys. But so Jimmy Jack goes up, I'm waiting, and we're waiting right in the lobby in the front, And she's like, let's go. I said, we got to wait on Jimmy Jack. She goes, it's just how she did it. She goes, do you want to be with him or do you want to be with me? Right? And I'm like, oh, I love you, bro. And we go get in her car. She grabs her car. And you know, that was pretty much, I was thinking, the end of it. But she left. When she left, I guess we was going to her house or maybe my hotel. Because I was stayed, most of the guys stayed at that Ramada. Wasn't supposed to say that. I don't guess it matters. The Ramada, that's where everybody knows it anyway. No. But the hotel I was staying at was down a bit. So we were either going to her house or my hotel. And she went the wrong way. And now Jimmy Jack has come back out. And he's standing out there looking for us. He knows her car. I didn't know that, right? And she comes back by on my side. And I see him and he's looking right at us. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, oh shit, we got to stop. She goes, we're not stopping. And I'm putting, because I know Jimmy can see me, I got my arm out the window pointing like, turn. But I'm like, God damn, he sees me, don't he? He does see me. And that was it. When we went, me and her did whatever we did. And the next day was TV catering. A little hungover.
Now, where was Shawn Michaels during all this?
He stayed.
He was back at the hotel.
Yeah,
when
he
that
stayed
happened?
at Armada there, and wherever, which was rare because we always stayed together.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I don't know what that deal was about. Maybe he left with somebody. Oh, sorry, I can't say anything like that.
Now, was this a rat you were with, or was this just somebody you met at a club?
Well, here's the thing, though. So, unbeknownst to me, the girl that I left with was Jimmy Jack's regular.
That was his regular rat in Buffalo. Oh, well, I can see that.
I would say girl. I hate saying rats.
Oh, well.
But even though some of them smell like rats. You ever smell a rat?
I used to see what would hang out at the Hilton and the Hojos, so there you go.
Do you smell one? Smell more than one. But anyway, I didn't know that.
So the next day of catering.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
we're going through to getting food.
You're a little hungover.
And a lot.
Oh, well.
Here comes Jimmy Jack right up in my face. He goes, what is with you punks? And now I'm remembering, because I'm hungry, I'm remembering we all had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, breaking the glasses and cutting up and doing all that shit. And, you know, and the girl, I had no clue that was his regular girl. They never even said hello to each other. You know?
Really?
So, yeah, how the hell was I supposed to know? She didn't have a finger up here that said Jim's ring rat.
Yeah.
I hate that ring. I didn't say that.
He didn't say it. We didn't hear anything.
But anyway, he's yelling at me, and now everybody's sitting right there. Harley's right here, Honky's right here. All the guys are there. Warrior hadn't really got into his Warrior thing yet. He was still doing generic.
Yeah, he was coming in right around that time in '87 when he was still Dingo.
And he's sitting there. All these guys are seeing it, and I'm not even feeling like it's about to be a fight. I'm just confused. Like, I'm thinking, didn't we have a good time?
What's going on?
Yeah. And he goes, and this one, he points to Shawn, he goes, over there breaking glasses over his head and throwing them at the bartender about get us kicked. That didn't happen. He just exaggerated, said he was throwing them at the bartender, breaking all the glasses behind the thing. He goes, these two punks are going to get us kicked out of there. And you telling this is what everybody eating, but they're doing like this, right? Their eyes are cutting up. They're watching.
Like they're not listening.
Yeah. And then he said something. He goes, and you, pointing to me again, telling the driver that I'm a jobber and y'all are going to be superstars. Everybody stopped eating. And they were like, oh, and putting their shit down and leaned back like, really? I mean, it changed the whole damn cafeteria, whatever the hell you call it. And I was like, that is the worst thing. I was like, are you kidding? I was like, I mean, it was the best thing he could have said to piss everybody off. But it was the worst thing that you could say about somebody. You're a jobber, I'm going to be a star. Yeah. And it was never said. I don't even know who, I saw the limo out there. I never even talked to that dude. So it was just a total, him covering his anger. Mm-hmm. His anger was over the girl. He didn't get with the girl. That was it. But it turned
he was trying to justify it. Yeah.
So that night he goes, that's all right, punks, I'll see you in the ring. And we're like, what does that mean? Is it like, let's go out in the ring and fight?
Yeah.
And then we look at the damn TV thing they had the list of matches.
It was him and Jose Estrada.
Yeah, and we're like, gosh, damn, it's going to be our first match. If we go in there and we're scrapping it out and it looks like shit, that's our first match in WWF.
Right.
So Shawn got a little nervous about it. I mean, I was nervous too. I was like, I didn't want to have a bad match. And, you know, if you feel like somebody, when we're standing there and somebody's throwing punches, but this time he may really be drilling you, it's hard to know. Well, I mean, what do? You lean back in case he's really going to throw it hard. And Shawn went to, I don't want to say it, but so I won't say Strongbow, and went and told him the problem. And Chief, well, at this point, he didn't know us well enough not to like us, but he called Jimmy Jack over. He goes, and he had that lean. He'd do like this with his hands behind his back, cross. Heard there's some problems. And only Jimmy Jack, not Jose at all. It was Jimmy Jack. And Jimmy Jack, he's like, what problems? Are you going to be all right in the ring with these two? He goes, you know I'll be professional, Chief. I didn't say Chief. You know I'll be professional. You know I'll be. And we went and had the match, and it actually come off good. And Jimmy Jack did come over after the match. He goes, hey, I apologize. You guys are pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. But.
He didn't do it in front of everybody.
But no, it was about, you know, yeah. Why didn't you save that for catering? But that was it. And then Vince was leaving. It was the end of the night or whatever. Vince was leaving. He goes, you guys have fun, rock and party, but don't party too hard. And we're like, okay, so he must have heard. He must have heard something. The first day back off of TV, Terry Garvin calls me. He goes, Marty, you guys need to come up here. To Stanford's office.
Yeah. The old one. That was the old one. That was in Titan Tower,
Yeah. That the one that was 4-story. Yeah, it was a different one.
Yeah.
Like that. But anyway, I was like, what's up? He goes, well, you need to be really nice and try to get your job back. I was like, what do you mean? About to cry. Like, what do you mean? We'll get our job back. He goes, just buy your own flights, come up here, have a meeting with Vince. So I told Shawn, and we did. We bought a flight. I think it was, back then, it was like $400 each.
Wow.
Round trip from Minneapolis to, I think we flew into New York, LaGuardia, and then back. And this was how the meeting went. We're sitting there waiting. It was like 9 o'clock. We was there. It opened at 9. We was there. And sitting on the couch, talking to the little secretary that was cute, but scared to death. I mean, you know, Shawn's sitting there with a barrel. I told you about the boots. He's got his legs crossed. He's got these snakeskin boots on. And old Vince comes walking in. And he goes, good morning, guys. And he points at Shawn's boot. He goes, nice boots. Shawn says, oh, thank you. He goes, they're made for walking, you know. And we're like, oh, no. He goes, oh, no, come on in. And we go in the meeting, and then he let us go. But what he told us, he goes, guys, I'm going to have to let you go. I'm doing you a favor. And I'm like, what kind of favor is that? What? He goes, the guys don't want you here. And I said, well, so who's the boss? He goes, no, you don't understand. If the guys don't want you here, you don't need to be here. At that point, I thought it was bullshit. Like, that's a hell of an excuse. The guys don't want us here. You're the boss. You write the checks. You don't want us here is what I was thinking. And I was, I'm thinking, why? So over some girl, Jimmy Jack got it. So we got it. That's what I'm thinking inside. But as it turned out later on, remember now, we're new. We're a year and a half in the business. You're still learning shit. Well, I still learn shit 30 years later. But should I?
Whoa, wait.
Should I comb my hair? Hey, can y'all hear me? I forgot this is in my pocket right here. I just now saw it.
So the microphone's in your pocket?
The microphone's right there.
Oh no, but I mean the box. Oh,
can y'all still hear me?
If we're having any technical problems, come out and give us some kind of a cue. Okay.
Yeah, I had that in my pocket. Sorry about that.
All right, don't.
And I was going to try to fix this caveman here.
All right.
Better stay on point here, huh? So, because if the boys don't want you there, they will rib deep. When I say rib, no, it's nasty.
There were some mercenaries in that locker room at the time when it came to the
they
ribs.
would shit in your bag. They would. Oh, sorry about the language.
It's all right.
I've been cussing anyway, accidentally.
You said worse.
Done worse too, huh? Wait. Am I talking too much?
No.
Okay. They will cut you. They used Terry Taylor's Red Rooster. I got to tell you that story too.
Oh, you know what? We're going to get there. That's part of the outline for this show. Yep. But Vince, you're in there with Vince and Stanford.
Yeah, and he was talking about, and he goes, I'm going to let you go and give you a little time to tour too, is the way he said it. That was it. Man, we talk about time. Now, we just told, we're all like, hey, AWA, fuck you,
yourself.
we're going.
Yeah.
We go in there one day and like, you can't go back now and say, hey, can we get our jobs back?
And I tell you this, I want to do some episodes about AWA with you as time goes on. I think right now, best thing we can do, I want to take a brief time out. When we come back, I want to dive into when you actually came in that the fans are more familiar with in '88. Okay. So right now, fans are going to take a brief time out. Again, remember, check.
Wait.
Oh, wait, what? Anything more to add in '87?
No, do you need any Flomax?
No, I do all right for myself, believe it or not. I wish I could flow more, but that's a different story for a different time with all the medication I'm on. All right, fans, don't forget we got the Patreon channel. Just a couple of dollars a month. You help keep wrestling legends like Marty Jannetty, Tony Atlas, and so many more working. You got the classic shoot interviews with the Iron Sheik that have been heard by millions on YouTube, million more on the Howard Stern Show, Paul Bearer, Demolition, Vader, Harley Race, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. The list goes on and on and on. The links are below the eBay. We got the great merchandise. So much of the stuff we have here on the set, you can bring to the comfort of your own home. Some great wrestling memorabilia. If you're watching the premiere of this great episode, we got that gray super chat going. Send us a tip. Hey, you know what? Buy us a soda. We're thirsty people.
Good stuff right here.
We're thirsty people. All right, we're going to take a brief time out. We'll be back with more as we look at the Rockers entering WWF in 1988.
And he's really going to get some Flomax.